Hello everyone. Welcome to the current affairs analysis for 12th February 2020. So the Delhi Legislative Assembly elections have been declared yesterday. What is important for us is not from the political point of view, but from the legal and constitutional point of view. So we should know that Delhi is a union territory, but still it has a legislative assembly. So how does it happen and why does it happen? Basically, union territories are those territories which are directly governed by the government of India, and a state is that which is governed by the state government. So, a UT having a legislative assembly comes somewhere in between. That means any territory which the center government doesn't think fit to become a full-fledged state, but also has some other reason. That's why it is made a UT. For example, there are certain union territories which have strategic importance. For example, the Andaman and Nicobar, the Lakshadweep. So these two are union territories which are strategically important because they are located far away from the mainland of India. On the other hand, certain other UTs like Chandigarh, which have politically disputed between the states of Punjab and Haryana, and certain other UTs like Daman and Diu, Dadra and Nagar Haveli, and Pondicherry, where the ethnicity or the culture of people is very different. So they cannot be merged into the states territorially because they have their own ethnic or cultural identity. That's why they are UTs. Apart from that, a UT may grow in size, it may have a lot of population. So after a certain point of time, it may not be possible for the central government to take each and every decision for that UT. So a middle ground is found where the UT is provided with a legislative assembly. And that is the reason why the union territories of Delhi, the union territories of Puducherry, and now the union territory of Jammu and Kashmir also has a legislative assembly. So the Delhi Legislative Assembly, it was established by the 69th Constitutional Amendment, and it provides 70 MLAs to the UT of Delhi. So what is this 10% rule? It mandates that not more than 10% of the total MLAs of the state can be appointed as ministers, including the chief minister. So what it means is that there cannot be more than 7 ministers in the Delhi cabinet, including the chief minister. Whereas for all other states, this rule is 15% rule, and it was mandated by the 91st Constitutional Amendment Act. Right? So 15%, for example, if a state has 100 MLAs in the Legislative Assembly, there cannot be more than 15 ministers in that state, including the chief minister. Let us see an MCQ. So which constitutional amendment established a legislative assembly for the Union Territory of Delhi? So the answer is 69th Amendment. Next is high level panel finalizes report on clause 6 of Assam Accord. So what is Assam Accord? Assam Accord was signed in the year 1986 between the All Assam Students Union and the government of India when Mr. Rajiv Gandhi was the prime minister at that time. So according to this accord, Assamese people were to be provided protection, safeguards to promote their cultural, social and linguistic identity and the heritage of Assamese people. So clause 6 of the act provided for protection to the Assamese people. However, who are Assamese people? The definition of this is not clear. So a high level panel is finalizing a report to determine who are Assamese people and who are not. So while the Assam Accord and the National Register of Citizens, it sets midnight of March 24th, 1971 to determine who is a legal citizen, the definition of Assamese people eligible for the safeguards is not spelled out clearly. So the task of the panel is to spell out what is the definition of Assamese people. Our next news is Indian Air Force pilots have been picked for manned space mission. They have started training in Russia. So Indian Space Research Organization has proposed a mission called the Gaganyaan, and it will be the first manned mission of India. So it has been planned by the year 2022, and Russia is supporting us as far as the training of cosmonauts or astronauts is concerned. So India's first manned mission to space, it will be aided logistically and in astronauts training by Russia, and 4 Indian Air Force pilots have been picked and they will be training in Russia for more than a year now. The Trump administration, US President Donald Trump's administration, has proposed $1.5 billion in this financial year to ensure that the Indo Pacific remains free of malign China influence. So, what it means, it shows a kind of Cold War between US and China, where both are trying to expand their influence in the Indian Ocean region and in the Pacific region. So, what is Indo Pacific? Indo Pacific is the entire geographical area from the east coast of Africa to the western coast of North and South America. So, all this area is the Indo Pacific region. So, Indian Ocean as well as the Western Pacific region is the Indo Pacific region. So, the Trump administration has allotted $1.5 billion and has enhanced his military presence in the region so that it can counter the rising influence of China. And the US president has already made sure that it wants to pull out US troops out of the endless wars in the Middle East. And now it is shifting its military focus towards China because the US sees China's military movements in the South China Sea and its growing influence in the Indo Pacific as a threat to US's own interests. In South China Sea, the China has disputes over the islands of Paracel and the islands of Spratly. So these are the two island chains on which China is claiming, and there are many countries which are also claiming territorial authority over these islands, including Philippines, including South Korea. China also has disputes over the Senkaku Islands with Japan. So China is mired in a lot of controversies and a lot of territorial disputes as far as the South China Sea and the East China Sea is concerned. And it wants to enhance its influence in this region. But at the same time, the United States is also trying to counter it. So this is a news which is significant from the foreign policy front. And there is also another grouping which is known as the Quad. Quad or quadrilateral. It is the short form of quadrilateral, which means there will be 4 countries who will make a roughly a quadrilateral, and those 4 countries will try to enhance their influence in the Indo-Pacific region so that China's rising influence can be countered. And India is also a part of that Quad. So what are the other 3 countries which are part of Quad? Let us see an MCQ based on this question. So Quad is an informal grouping of 4 countries. Which among the following is not a member of Quad? Again, as I told you, not is the key word in a question. So it can entirely change the answer to a question. Which among the following is not a member of Quad? So there are 4 members of Quad: India, Japan, Australia, and the United States of America. So these 4 countries together form the Quad. So as we know, Australia is there, Japan is a member, India is also a member, but South Korea is not. So South Korea is our answer. Instead of South Korea, it should have been United States of America. So these 4 countries, if United States of America is here, Japan is here, India is somewhere here, and Australia is here. So they form roughly a quadrilateral, and also they cover the entire Pacific Ocean and also the Indian Ocean. So this concept of covering the entire Indian Ocean and the entire Pacific Ocean to reduce or to counter the influence of China is the concept of Indo-Pacific. And China always sees it as a threat, and it has opposed India's membership of Quad, and it has opposed the concept of Indo-China. Thank you everyone. This has been the news analysis for 12th of February 2020.